down. I'm the one you call when you need a chin up or down. I'm a tin rattle man, I'm working all day, getting those stakes in the ground no matter what they say. From sunrise to the night, I make sure everything's right. Yeah, I'm a tin rattle man, I'm working all day.
Oh, this is a blooper reel.
Yeah.
And we're back again with another episode of Under the Vinyl. Kyle, how you doing today?
Nate, I'm doing just as well as I was 30 minutes ago when you asked me that.
Oh, hey, there's different episodes coming out different weeks. We got to keep this thing going. We're still at ARA, though, and we're still having fun.
Correct.
We're almost to the end of the day here.
Day 2 for us.
Day 2. Got here Friday.
Worse for last.
Huh?
Worse for last.
Yeah.
I saved you, yeah.
For the end of the day. So we'll just jump right into it. Today's guest is going to be Matt Mutton from Mutton Rental.
You're Bob's kid, right?
I am. You know Bob?
He's a legend.
Bob's the legend in the industry, but now he's a professional fisherman. So
He fishes hard. I mean, I don't really like fishing, but I go with them, and it's like a 12-hour day.
I love it. Well, Matt's been a good friend of mine in the industry for a while now. Been wanting to get him on here to talk a little bit. He's making me write out exactly what he had to talk about, so he had some questions ahead of time, but hopefully we can just get into...
Now, did you write these, Nate, or do you use something else to, write these for you?
Well, ChatGPT asked me what is ownership heavier than a 12-meter rafter section, so if that tells you anything, that's where we're at.
So, how many 12-meter rafter sections do you have?
I think it depends on how you define a 12-meter rafter. I mean, are we getting to 12 meters, or is it half of it,
Well, what does Ramsey call arches and
Arms.
arms?
Yeah.
So arms and art, yeah.
So is that half an arm or a full arm?
It's got to be a full arm.
Pretty heavy then.
But, well, Matt, just tell us a little bit about you and how you got here. I know you've been in the rental industry for a long time. Probably didn't necessarily want to go this path, but here you are.
Yeah. No, I'm a pretty traditional family business. I grew up in the business. School bus dropped me off in elementary school, literally at our warehouse. So I, grew up ripping motors apart in our tool rental business at that time and climbing the pallet racking and doing all of that. So, you grow up in that, you always think maybe you're going to do it, right? And you go back and forth. I actually went to college and thought I was going to do corporate America, and realized, I think about my junior year, that I'm a little distractible, and the idea of just doing finance all day or just marketing all day was going to be terrible. And I was working part-time for a rental company when I was in college. That tells you how far away I got from the industry.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad called me one time. He goes, "Hey, your mom said something about maybe you want to go into the business." And I'm like, "Yeah, I decided I want to do that." And it was cool. I started making sales calls from my room in college, trying to round up business, and have been all in since that day.
So you were more sales the start?
No, I mean, I some of my earliest memories on a tech crew is, my dad sent me out with guys, which I don't know if that's legal, but they were just picking on me, and they're like, "Yeah, take this whacker, from here to there. We're doing some festival." So I'm just like dragging this thing on the ground, trying to get it across.
And really, he just needed a babysitter for the day.
Yeah.
So that would...
That's probably the deal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so... But no, I did a ton of installs growing up, in college. Did a lot of installs, also worked in our warehouse. I mean, we were a pretty small operation at that time, so you could do any and all. Coming out of college, obviously started doing some more sales. I'd already been calling on some certain client bases, and it just continues to evolve. I still go out and swing a hammer from time to time. Actually, I don't know the last time.
But now you can do it for fun.
I do it just to show all these who are coming up in the business that you can still do that, because they don't. My dad asked me the other day about how many broken sledgehammers we have, and I'm like, "You don't break sledgehammers." He's like, "What do you mean?"
You don't have one.
I go, "Nobody swings them." He's like,
Yeah, odds are there's not even one in the truck.
I mean, we got them, but they have no idea how to use them.
Or it's a rubber-handled sledgehammer now.
They still break.
Yeah. So
Well, so what was one of the first tents you remember putting up?
I can remember doing, because I usually went with my dad when I was little, so probably 40 wide poles, 60 wide poles. I can remember my dad put me on a lace line, and that thing just felt like it went on for days. Like,
Yeah.
At 6, 7 years old, you're just like, this is the worst thing ever. But yeah.
One funny story is I started at A's Rental in South Bend, Indiana. Matt was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and our companies used to hate each other. And it was, there was
hated you.
Oh, I didn't hate you either, but the companies.
But I had to hate you because I worked there. Is that what he's getting at?
Well, the companies never really got along. And then we go to the show, and we get to the show and see Matt. And I was like, I can't like that guy. I'm not allowed to like that guy. He's kind of a competitor. And then over time, somehow Matt and I's friendship just evolved. And I think the One of the first memories I have of us at the show is when we were playing beer pong and we were convincing people.
It is still my favorite IFA item.
We were convincing people to come down and be sponsors of the beer.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of these guys. It might have been Fred that walked in with all the cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Set them all on the bar at about 1 a.m. and that was one of my fondest memories of Matt. And that's kind of when Matt and I first started talking.
That was the last fun.
Yeah, that was the last
one and
fond
only.
memory. Yeah. So transitioning then, you're working in the business how long with your dad before you guys kind of decided that you were going to buy the business from him?
Yeah, so, obviously all growing up, when I coming out of college, that was the understanding, right? Because that was actually a conversation my dad had with me. He goes, we're trying to decide we're going to do this business. I heard you maybe want to come in and take over. So I think the mistake maybe my parents made was it was known that I was going to buy the business and they were transferring ownership, but I'm kind of an all-in guy. So and I was ready to go right out of the gate. So I graduated college in 2008. We signed buy-sell paperwork January 1 of 2016. So it's been about 10 years.
And how's that transition been?
I probably by beautiful accident, but it was as smooth as can be. My mom had phased out of the business in maybe 2012. My dad had more or less phased out of the business by 13, 14. So clients never knew it happened. Some of them probably still don't even know that it happened. Staff weren't used to my dad being involved day to day. So we didn't tell anything. It just
does your father still come and tell you what you're doing wrong?
I got a few texts today about things that he's checking on for whatever reason on a Sunday.
Well, he knows you're not there, so someone's got to check on you.
Yeah, trailer straps, those are important on Sundays, sitting in the lot. But no, my dad, he's been phenomenal all the way through the gate. He's not involved in anything, but every once in a while I'll get a weird custom project. My dad's really innovative, and I'll say, hey, can you handle this? And that's helpful.
Was he a big sales guy, or was he more of an operations guy when he was more involved?
A little bit of both. We were small. My mom was a fantastic salesperson. Obviously, we had a couple salespeople on staff, but he's definitely logistics. He's a laser-focused individual. He's got an idea. He's going to just
Bob's
painfully see it through.
Bob's always got ideas.
Yeah.
Bob's got some wild ideas, but Bob's Bob.
Bob is Bob.
He's one of one for sure.
I got a message yesterday that he just ordered stickers to tell us the hours of the last service on our 10 oxes. So
he's all
because I don't think this thing's been greased recently.
So he's more of a consultant.
Yeah.
In his own right.
Wait till you get that invoice.
Yes.
So Bob is so he's not there every day because he's in Florida, right?
No.
So he's more or less now he's totally out of it. Not really, unless he wants to be coming in and out, right?
Yeah, he has no involvement in the business. Outside of the fact that him and I talk virtually every day, he knows what's going on. I bounce ideas off and he's always been great that way, very non-judgmental, very supportive. So, when he shows up at the warehouse every once in a while, and it's funny because he's been gone for a long time now. And I think last summer, somebody went to one of our managers and goes, so this old guy just rolled up in the parking lot, got out, told us we were doing everything wrong, and then drove away.
Yeah.
And they had no idea who he was. I'm like, yeah, that's Brian.
That's Bob. That's Bob.
They call it getting bobbed.
What do you think one of the first things that you decided you needed to change or you wanted to change when you kind of took over? Was there something specifically that stuck out to you that you were like, man, when I take this place over, I'd like to do it this way or change something?
I think, oddly enough, when we signed those ownership paperwork, a little pressure went away. I don't know what it is. I felt a little liberated. Maybe I started working even a little bit less, which was not much less at that point. But, it wasn't a rapid thing, but we eliminated some product lines pretty quickly. Basically my philosophy has been if something makes my phone ring on a weekend, maybe more than twice a year, we're not free work too. And we were big and we bounce houses, slushy machines, ice cream machines, and you just get tired of taking those calls.
To kind of refine that.
Other things were growing. Yeah. We don't need this stuff. Let's get away from it.
And then what did you start growing on from there? Did you just start growing structure? Did you start growing a specific item? Or?
Yeah, I've always been a tech guy, right? You grow up dragging a whacker across the job site. So my goal was always to put up the biggest, coolest tents. There's still bigger and cooler tents, but we're doing a lot of that. So it's always been extremely tent focused for tech. Okay. So.
And you are seasonal, but I feel like the rental industry as a whole, and we've talked about this, is kind of making the shift where it's not so much seasonal. I feel like more people are.
The seasons are getting longer.
Yeah. More people are diversifying.
Specifically in the structure business.
Yeah. So how have you guys, being in Indiana, lots of snow, what are you guys doing currently? And I mean, you don't have to give all the listeners what your model is, but what have you guys been doing to kind of diversify that? Have you been traveling more, going other places?
I mean, we're open to anything in the winter. I mean, somebody wants us to come do something, we're going to come do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily be rental related. I mean, it could be peripheral. We bought a trade show company back in maybe 2013, the main decorator in Fort Wayne. So that's been a good piece for us. And that was strictly about just maintaining more year-round staff.
Right. Doing more shows for pipe and drape, things like that.
Yeah. You know, and we put up tents. I mean, we don't care. I mean, it's slow, but you got the labor.
Right.
So, I mean, what?
Yeah, you're paying the guys no matter what.
And, you know, the structure business changes that a lot because, I mean, you more or less can hold an event any month of the year if you really want to. It can be a little painful, but yeah.
Just takes money.
Just takes.
Make more of it every day. Make more of it every day. So then you guys, what was kind of the building size that you started in? And then I know since Bob's been gone, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys went into a bigger building, kind of transitioned there and kind of grew that side a little bit.
Yeah, so that was actually one of my dad's last big things that he helped us push across. We bought a building in 2015, and he basically spent the year playing general contractor and renovating that. That helped with the transition because he wasn't around that entire summer. So we were maybe 12,000 square foot, plus a couple shipping containers back in 15. So now we are... Main building's 30,000 square foot ground level, get another 12,000 square foot building, so we've got kind of a strip down this road of multiple buildings. And then my dad calls me the shipping container king. And I think I got 8,000 square foot of shipping containers on my property.
Just packed with inventory?
I use it all their own thing. I mean, we got 8 dedicated to just pipe, you know, whether that's, you know, Fiesta, West Coast, whatever it might be. We got Shafaris, we got, you know, flooring, I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
But shipping containers are the cheapest warehouse you can buy.
Yeah, they definitely are. And
you can put one in a warehouse too.
Yeah, look, my office is a shipping container. But cool. You can also resell them after. So if you don't need it, the whole market is very good to get rid of them as well.
Oh, yeah. And so just growing up with Bob as an innovator, now he's got this device called the tent hoist.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the tent hoist.
Yes, so we got into structure in 2013. Prior to that, we were, you know, in track tent. We ran Navy up to 50, so we made that jump. I always wanted to do it. And like the first install we did, my dad's like, this is ridiculous. We're renting this huge machine. Like, we're only lifting 800 pounds off the ground.
Yeah.
Why? And I just kind of shrugged it off. I mean, it is what it is, right? Passing the cost on. So when he retired, about 6 months after, he showed up in our maintenance shop and he just started welding stuff together. And we were swamped. So I was like, whatever. And a couple months later, he's got this thing and he's like, hey, I built this. Why don't you go try this out? And it was the clear span tent hoist. So, you know, we tested on our operation for a year. And again, I wasn't sure what his motive was, but, you know, he took it, he patented it, did all the stuff, was marketed at some shows. And, yeah, we continue to sell them. Work real hard at it, so it's not, I don't think it's funding his retirement or anything like that, but
explain how it's used though.
So clear span tent hoist is basically designed to go on an industrial fork truck. So it slips over the forks. It's basically got a series of masts that go up with a big hoist on top that allows you to tip up these arches with an industrial fork truck. So 3-mast fork trucks like 15.5, you know, at 20-meter structures, 21 feet or something like that. So it gets you that extra height.
Without having to use a lull.
Use a lull. And it's, for us, a lot of it was job cost savings. We can move our own lifts. We have drop deck trailers, so we're moving that stuff. We're still charging for the equipment. The other thing I didn't think about at the time is it's a lot smaller piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Lulls are big. Right. And there's some jobs where it's problematic. You can't get them in and out. You know, they make marks on the concrete, things like that. The other thing that's really cool is it opens up who can operate it. I don't know about your operations, but it's always the best guy running that bowl.
Takes them away from it.
Now, I mean, everybody in our crew's fork truck certified. Yeah. So as far as material handling, it doesn't have to be that number one guy anymore in that machine. So theory, that opens them up to do more important things. I'm not saying they always do that.
They are.
So, yeah, it's been great. I mean, we use the thing, I'd say, for 75% of our installs.
So what's Bob working on next?
Well, he was in the other day, he said he was going to redesign the tent hoist. And I'm like, okay, so we'll see. I don't know what he's doing.
He must be bored.
Yeah, no, he's always tinkering with stuff.
So I love that. Yeah. So kind of let's talk about your culture a little bit, about how you've kind of revamped that culture and what you've done with your systems with your employees.
Yeah.
And kind of just walk us through that.
You know, I struggle with that culture question. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know we have a culture, but I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. You know, I think we're a very hands-on organization. I mean, we're top to bottom. I mean, everybody understands that in the event world, if something hits the fan or a customer needs something and that event's, you know, Saturday and Friday, you're going. Like, I mean, we don't have a choice even as we get bigger as far as that goes. So I think that's a big thing. I mean, we really value work ethic. But, you know, ultimately, I'd say we're pretty, I don't know if tight's the right word, but, you know, the expectation is we're here for quality, we're here for efficiency. And, you know, we still like to have fun and joke on the job site, but it's pretty businessy, I guess I would say. So
How many employees do you have now?
So we're running about 35 this off season. We'll flex up to 45 to 50.
That's right.
So, okay.
Keeping 35 guys for the winter.
That's, yeah. It's, you know, I mean, the bottom line is this industry is a skilled trade. But there's no unions, there's no trade schools, whatever. So experience pays. So we've been gambling.
You
with
can't risk losing them.
No,
And
because
that's
they're
the
not going to
hardest
come back.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the hardest part.
in this day and age, you know, 20 years ago, you laid people off, they came back.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, well, now you're adapting, you're keeping them on, you're paying a little bit more, but you're investing more in them, especially with the safe tending and everything else that's coming down the pipeline. Are you implementing that in your business, and in what ways are you using it? Are you going to incentivize it? How are you going to use it?
Yeah, so I love that. That got announced, I think, you know, at ATA in Louisville a couple years ago, and ecstatic, because I think it just further legitimizes the business. I think that's what we need. We have not done anything as far as that goes at this point, but we're hoping to in 2026. But we've always done hands-on TED training, things like that. You know, every ops meeting we're going over what works, what doesn't work, things like that. But it's going to be good.
Walk us through the structure of your guys, your installers, your field installers, things like that. How do you structure that?
Yeah, so we, I don't know, unique, ununique, but basically everybody we hire comes in as a crew 1 or a C1, and we have a hierarchy that builds that all the way out to CM6, which is a crew manager 6. So they go C1, C2, C3, and then they can move to a CMT, which is a crew manager in training, and then CM1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you know, that came out of, you know, kind of that 2018, 2019 era where, you know, people want a path to success. Right. And what always surprised me is guys you hired, you know, they see you have a top installer, and for whatever reason, they just think, well, they only need one. And I'm like, no, dude, like, it's not my goal to be on a job site 3 days a week. Like, you can have my job, and people don't have that vision. So I think laying that out has gone a long way. It also makes raises and things a lot easier.
Are you laying
less subjective?
Is the pay scale laid out?
We have a published pay scale.
Okay. Yeah. That's huge.
How often is that updated?
You know, once a year, once every 2 years. So it you know, there's flexibility in that too. It's a range.
Okay.
You know, because you can have a guy that's not designed to be a crew manager.
Right.
So, you know, he's a C3, he's a crew guy for life, and obviously he's making more than that published pay scale because you need those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, those are valuable.
Has that felt like you've kept people in that way by showing them more, like more longer tenured employees, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a mixed bag. Yeah, I mean, there's still turnover in the business. I don't know what it is about this industry, but nobody thinks they're going to do it when they're 60 years old.
Well, but there's got to be a path. And I feel like if you're showing them the pathway, let's be honest. I mean, I've talked about this 100 different times. I didn't think that I'd be here today in this position or doing what I'm doing, right? And I started on a truck and worked my way up to what I'm doing currently. I mean, same with you and same with you, you know. But nobody sees it as a path in a career, and hopefully this safe tending and everything is helping provide that, but also what you're doing and giving them a path a little bit.
The other thing is no one thinks they are going to be able to do it at 60, but now all the innovations coming out in the industry as a whole, do prolong the life of the installer.
So can I get back pay or hazard pay for my back from all the sledgehammers that I swung?
No,
It's probably just Mad genetics.
Yeah, bad genetics. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good things now and so many different tools and things out there that are making
It's way
easier.
different.
Oh,
if you think about the stuff we used to do when we were kids, like, I'm like, what were we thinking?
I feel like my dad when I say this, like, you have no idea what it was like when I was back in my day. Yeah, you know, but it's so true in the tools and the innovative things that have come out, just like the 10 hoist and everything else. But yeah, I feel like the longevity of this industry is better now, and it's for people that are coming in, they can kind of see that too.
1,000%. Yeah.
So what's your primary focus, do you think, right now? Has it been more of the industrial? Has it been more of the wedding side? Where is kind of your focus, you think, the most today?
You know, ultimately, we're going after all of it. And we've had a lot of growth in industrial. We've had a lot of growth in just structure business in general. You know, whether that's, retail for sporting events, VIP stuff. That's great. I mean, that's a lot of where my personal focus is. But I mean, we definitely have our finger on the pulse of what the wedding and local business looks like, because it's where we came from. Mm-hmm. And you can debate, does it matter, does it not matter? But I think it 100% does. And the other thing was those big jobs, at least for me, that gives me anxiety is big jobs can decide not to have that next year.
Yeah.
So at any given moment,
because some of them, it's just such a minor budget line item, huge to me.
Yeah.
Like they could go to lunch and be like, let's do this. Probably don't need to spend that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
And
basically, I did it all.
okay. A reset.
You good?
So the wedding side, yeah, obviously that's where we came from. I mean, you go as far back as the candelabras and how we finally had to phase out of those and get rid of those. You know,
the globe lights.
Yeah, it seemed like every rental store had those, and we were
The heart shape, like those were beautiful.
We finally shaded away from that, which has been great.
Yeah.
What manufacturer are you currently using, structure-wise, tents-wise? Are you using a little bit of everything? What have you found the best for you?
Yeah, I mean, we have relationships with all the manufacturers. I think, when you're moving quick, you have to have those relationships, because sometimes you need to get something done and somebody's busy or whatever it might be. Structure-wise, I mean, we're very heavy Low-Spurger. As far as that goes. We're a big anchor client, anchors in Indiana, so that just makes a lot of efficient sense. But we think virtually every manufacturer, we probably own something of theirs.
What's your favorite tent?
To put up, I would probably 40 wide Navitrack. I mean, I grew up on that, and I can throw up a 40 wide Navitrack like nobody's business. I think it's been a while, but yeah, I think it could.
So today, when you guys are at the or coming up tomorrow at the show here, is there specifics that you're looking for? Is it? We just talked about a little bit ago, just about how we're shading away from not purchasing at the show or doing so much purchasing at the show, I feel like, and it's been more reactive rather than proactive. Where do you guys stand on that, and what are you going to be looking for while you're here?
So we've got a few items on the list. I mean, we're looking to switch to a resin chair to replace our fruit wood, folding padded chairs, things like that. We always go to the show with the goal of adding a sample of something just to display in our showroom. We'll buy 10 of a chair just to see if it catches, with the commitment that we'll buy it if we need to. But more than anything, it's just to talk, get some FaceTime with our vendors. Yeah, they're all friends at this point, right? I mean, you've been doing this your whole life.
Yeah.
Some of them know me since I was,
looking
in diapers.
Yeah.
So
running around. Do you feel like, do you feel like that you're being more reactive in your buying then? Or do you feel like you're still being proactive like you used to be?
So there's a quality aspect that's, proactive, right? I mean, we're upgrading things. We bought a new 60 wide pole this year. It'd been a while. We felt like we're flirting the line on quality, so you just have to buy that. I don't know if we have a reservation on it, but if you're going to be, a leading tech company, you can't have a mediocre wedding 60 wide.
Right.
But, fortunately, I think, there's a lot of great vendors in this industry, so you can wait till you have customer demand and then purchase if you're organized. And that's most of our stuff anymore, specifically on tenting. I mean, we have this. Well, no, we don't. But
Yeah.
I know how long it takes to get it.
Yeah.
And I've got friends that, if I can't get it in time, I could sub-rent it or whatever else. But, there's so much.
The client doesn't need to know where it came from.
No.
It just needs to get put up. Do you think that there's what's the biggest mistake you think a rookie buyer makes or somebody new coming into this industry can make?
Sir.
I think, I don't know if I'm the best authority on that, because when I came into the business, it had been established. It had been around for 20 years, so I didn't have to go through all those pains. I had a conversation with a young man yesterday, actually, like, if you had $100,000, what would you buy? He said, well, maybe more tables and chairs. I'm like, well, think hard about that. Like, what does that look like? And that's just such a tough spot to have a small budget and decide if I'm going to buy this $180 table or whatever they are now. Like, and you're like,
I just saw that sheet yesterday.
Oh my! We were looking at it sitting over there before we started. Oh my!
Well, manufacturers will hate me for saying this, but look for used product. I mean,
well, the market is there's so much out there now after COVID on the used market.
Used aluminum, buy new vinyl. I mean, I'm not saying that's everything you buy, but I can't tell you how much inventory we've bought used. So.
Well, there's been a lot of, like, coming off COVID, like you said, there's a lot of gently used stuff that people are able to pick up, buy new. The structure's going to last, the tent's going to last, but you can always buy new vinyl, make new vinyl, things like that. But yeah, I feel like there's has been a heavy bunch of for sale inventory online lately.
You just have to be in the right place, right time. And then, and I can't tell you how many things I bought that were never online. It's just, I've known this owner since I was 15, and in a conversation over a beer at this show. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of used this, and those are the best deals.
Oh, absolutely. So, do you feel like now, knowing you and Leah and your kids, do you feel like you've kind of been able to take a little bit of a step back, a little bit more through the years now, since you first started in the ownership level, and you're kind of able to have some people to delegate more to?
Yeah, no, we've got a great team. As an organization, we generally don't work weekends in general anymore. I know Kyle loves that conversation. Your dad really loves that conversation. More work-life balance than ever. And I think a lot of it is we have a better handle on our capacity. We got better people. We got better systems. Yeah. It used to be you were just out there cowboying everything. Well, now there's a way to get a guy that maybe isn't qualified to do it, and specifically allow him the time. Like, it's going to take you 40% longer, but I can do my job and not be out there.
There's better systems that you can hand off now, that you can say, hey, this is how we do it, so I don't have to be there, and you can go on vacation. And I think it's wild. I really think it's wild. When you first told me about the no working on the weekend thing, I'm sure there's some exception to the rule maybe, but...
We had a crew that left at 2 o'clock today to go out of town. So.
Yeah, but at the end of the day...
They're not working, they're driving. That's different.
How many people in this industry are not working weekends? Like,
not many.
This industry lives off the weekend, so how were you able to even do that?
We looked at it hard. Ultimately, 2018, 2019, I think I had a mental breakdown, not therapist diagnosed, but I was just like, something's got to give. I literally can remember sitting in my car crying in the parking lot one morning, just like, holy shit, we sold all this. Now I got to figure out how to execute it. Mm-hmm. But that's how you grow, right? You just figure it out. And staff retention was tough. So we just started to look at, what's the stuff I don't like doing? Well, I don't love working Saturday, Sunday, specifically since I'm not taking any weekdays off. And you make decisions. We looked at it and we ran an analysis, and we decided that we could lose up to 9% of our revenue by eliminating weekend work.
Wow.
And the beautiful thing that happened is we eliminated Sundays in 2019, and then COVID happened. And in COVID, you could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
So we eliminated Saturdays in 2020, and it was, you could tell people that anything. Yeah. There was no questions about policy changes during COVID. So it was, maybe God's gift to me to have that window to do it.
So you're doing a great job with it.
Do you think it inhibits you on anything?
There's certainly things. We have a pretty strong presence with venues in our market, but there's a lot of venues that will openly say we'd love to use you, but you got to come get this stuff on Saturday night. And generally, we don't do it in season. And they'll use us off season, because off season we don't say no to things.
Well, they don't want to pay for you to come get it at that time.
And there's somebody that will. We're missing stuff. it's just a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
So in other markets, I know your market, like that probably isn't a viable option with some of your clients that I talk about.
We're not fully no Saturday, no Sundays, but we are very, very close.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we have an on-call rotation. So we have a pool of people that are available every weekend.
Yeah.
We're not going to say no to a big wedding if they have to have someone Saturday morning.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Well, Matt, before we wrap up here, just got some rapid-fire questions for you. Favorite structure width?
I think a 25-meter P3 Uniflex goes up easy. You can still throw it around by hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Staking or ballast?
I think it's always staking, but ballast on the way down is pretty quick. So
Frame tent or clear spans?
Clear span all day. Yeah.
Most underrated tent hardware?
What do you mean by that? Hardware?
A piece of that you would use to build the tent.
You mean things that we don't normally have in our truck that we should?
That too.
Like a bolt. Just
bolts.
Just throw a zip tie in it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's only the weekend.
Yeah.
One word to describe the industry.
Giving.
And the best install snack.
Yeah. Install snack. Monster?
That's fair enough. I feel like it's nicotine or energy drink at this stage of the game. And where can listeners find you or Mutton Rentals?
Where can you find us? We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Website's muttonrentals.com. Happy to have a conversation. Love talking to 10 people. So,
well, I appreciate that, Matt. Thanks for coming on today. You've been a good friend of mine for a long time, and I admire everything that you're doing and continue to do. And it's exciting to see what you got coming. So, this has been another episode of Under the Vinyl, Rental Management Media Podcast.
Thanks, gentlemen.